in my opinion, and according to my tax advisors and anybody who's in the know about real investing, there's nothing better than investing in real estate from debt and tax points of view. It is the best. What is the number one investment in real estate? You know, real estate, people say, well, I'm investing in real estate. I go, well, what kind of real estate? You know, some people flip houses. Some people, I don't know what they do. They fix them up and then they re-rent them, or there's millions and millions of ways. There's warehousing, many warehousing. There's golf courses, there's hotels, apartment houses. So the question is, what is the number one most important, most profitable real estate investment to be in today? Real estate for me is very simply three things. Debt. I use 100% debt to buy, and I pay no taxes, and I have cash flow. So it's debt, taxes, and cash flow. You know, I started investing when I came back from Vietnam in 1973, and I took a real estate course for 3 days, $385, which was a lot of money for a Marine lieutenant. I was only making about $800 or $900 a month. And so I bought this one bedroom, one bath property on the island of Maui for nothing down. And I made $25. And my life changed. I said, I can make money without money. So in technical terms, I call it an infinite return. I'm not investing in real estate, I'm investing in housing. Okay, there's certain things the economy must have. It must have oil. You must have food. You must have water. You know, you must have transportation. You must have a roof over your head. You don't need an iPad. You don't need an iPhone. But you better have a roof over your head. So when you look at a person's personal financial statement, you know, there's income, expense, asset, liability. First line expense for most people is taxes. If you don't pay that, they throw you in the streets anyway. The second line on that is housing. So it could be a rented, it could be a mortgage. So housing is an essential part of survival today. So all of these guys, when I was, you know, during the subprime crisis, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all this, these guys were buying, you know, mansions and flipping them. I was buying apartment houses. And today, in Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and today, what's the hottest part of the real estate market? Apartment houses. Why? Cash flow. There's 6 basic words to financial literacy and financial education. And the 6 words, again, are income, expense, asset, liability. See, I don't really care about my FICO score. A FICO score just basically registers, are you trustworthy with borrowing money? I borrow in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And the last 2 words are the words cash flow. So the income comes in and it goes out this way. First line of expense is tax. It's not how much money you make. Most people, you know, I don't care if you have a PhD or no school at all, but they can't control the cash flowing out through their expenses. And this is where the house comes in. First thing, you know, most kids do when they get pay raise or that, they buy themselves a bigger house. Oh, my house is an asset. Now, who tells you that? Your real estate agent, of course. You know, but when you look at what happens with a house, a personal residence, something I live in, the money comes in and goes out through a mortgage. You have taxes and you have upkeep. So money's always flowing out. So that's why your house is not an asset. It's because it's taking money from your pocket. So very simply said, assets put money in my pocket, liabilities take money from my pocket. I started when I was 25, bought my first house, and it was an apartment, it was an investment property. I didn't live in it, I rented it out, and it put money in my pocket. So very simple, the definition of asset and liability is not the house or this, it's cash flow. Where is the cash flowing? So as a young person, financial intelligence is the ability to control cash flow. Intelligence
IQ is, can you control cash flow? Not your college degree. So I started with this. I paid for the credit card and I put $25 in my pocket. It's an infinite return because the cash flow paid for the mortgage, it paid the expenses, pays the operating costs, and I still made $25. If you have a job, you pay tax, but income, the rich get richer because when you have asset income, taxes are less. You can get it down to zero if you want. But that's financial intelligence, but can you control cash flow? I learned financial education from my rich dad at 9 years old, playing Monopoly. 4 greenhouses, 1031, tax-free exchange into our red hotels. I own red hotels. I own 8,000 rental units. I use debt. Just yesterday, I borrowed another $160 million at 3%. Why would I save money? They're giving it away. So I use debt to buy apartment. I bought 160 units in Houston, Texas, which is a red state. And it pays cash flow. Debt is tax-free, and I pay no taxes because I own real estate.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but real estate is private equity. It's also private credit. You know, it's called the shadow banking system. You know, there's a public system, which is where all of the employees and doctors and lawyers are at, and they're always in the public markets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. But the real money is made in shadow banking, which is private equity or private credit. And the reason I like real estate is because I'm an inside investor. So I invest from the inside. And those guys who in the public markets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, they're from the outside.
So Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, I buy apartment houses next to oil wells. I mean, you don't have to go to Harvard to figure that one out. You know, as long as you got oil wells or, you know, something like that, real estate is always based upon jobs. If you have no jobs, real estate drops like a rock in value. So that's why I love Texas. You know, we have properties in Houston, Dallas, lots of Oklahoma, Louisiana, and it's a wonderful, wonderful mix, you know. I mean, it's just fabulous stuff. You know, basically an apartment house, well managed, is a bond. You know, it's like a treasury or a triple, you know, like one of those muni bonds. And it's bonds I can finance with debt. I'm going, Jesus, it's fantastic. So that's why when you've got to be smart. You know, if you're an idiot, you'll be like the other idiots who lost everything who are bankrupt. But you've got to be smart. You have to have good mentors. You have to have experience. You know, give yourself at least 5 years. Don't buy 1 or 2 houses and then just go out there and buy a hotel. I mean, you got to be crazy.